Are you ready to learn and drift into a deep, peaceful sleep? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You're lying still beneath a cool night sky, the wind whispering softly through the leaves, and far away, the blue planet turns gently, like a cradle rocking in space. There are nights when we long to fall asleep, yet our minds keep circling the same scattered thoughts. This video will guide you gently through them. For the next 2 hours, we'll journey together through soothing truths about Earth and the cosmos, from the breathing rhythm of the oceans, to the dancing lights of the aurora, to the sunlight that takes 8 minutes to kiss your skin, and onward, past the frozen worlds at the edge of the solar system. This isn't a lecture filled with dry facts. It's a quiet story, told in a soft voice, where every number glimmers like a tiny star, and every image flows like a wave that lulls you to rest. Your struggle is sleeplessness. Our promise is a slow, gentle journey, one where knowledge seeps in like night mist, light, cool, and deeply peaceful. So let the voice carry you away, word by word, breath by breath, until your eyes close naturally, and you drift into the quiet embrace of sleep. Imagine this. Night is slowly falling. Every sound seems to dissolve into the air. Only the soft wind remains, brushing through the trees, whispering an ancient lullaby of the earth. You are lying still, body relaxed, eyes gently closed. Above you stretches an endless sky, dotted with thousands of shimmering stars. There's no need to hurry, no need to think. Just let your breath find the rhythm of the quiet night. With every inhale, feel the cool air fill your lungs. With every exhale, let your worries drift away, melting into the tender darkness. Beneath a thin veil of mist, our blue planet is moving. The Earth, your home, where you rest now, is spinning on its axis at nearly 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. Hard to believe, isn't it? And yet, you don't feel a thing. There's no roaring wind, no dizzying tilt. Everything is still, peaceful, as if we were standing motionless in the middle of space. But at this very moment, as you listen to these words, the Earth continues to turn, tirelessly, gracefully, like a great cosmic dancer spinning through infinity. And that's not all. Our blue world is also orbiting the Sun at a breathtaking 107,000 kilometers per hour, completing one full journey every year. Which means that while you sleep soundly tonight, the Earth will have traveled millions of kilometers through space, carrying you along across the heavens without you even realizing it. This entire planet, its oceans, its mountains, its cities, and you, is gliding silently through the vastness on an endless, magnificent voyage. Isn't that extraordinary? A planet so immense, yet spinning freely in the void, no strings, no anchors, held only by the gentle laws of the universe. And still, we feel safe. We sleep each night in peace, living within the rhythm of day and night. It's as if the cosmos composed a quiet symphony just for Earth, a melody where every motion has its tempo and every creature its place of rest. Now, look up. The night sky above you seems still. Tiny stars glitter in the darkness as if they've stood unmoved for eternity. But in truth, everything is in motion. The Earth spins. The Moon drifts along its orbit. The planets circle the Sun, and the Sun itself races through the Milky Way at astonishing speed. The universe is never still. It is a symphony of motion. And yet, amidst all these cosmic orbits, tonight you can lie quietly, breathe deeply, and feel the eternal rhythm, the gentle turning of your cosmic home, Earth. Now imagine seeing Earth from far away, out in space. It appears as a soft blue gem floating in darkness. White clouds curl around it like silk ribbons, reflecting the moonlight and the distant stars. Continents fade beneath the soft glow. Here, deep oceans. There, snow-covered mountains glimmering faintly. From afar, there are no borders, no noise, only a tranquil sphere spinning in silence. And somewhere, on a tiny patch of that surface, there you are, listening, turning gently with the planet through the endless night. Can you hear it? The faint rustle of leaves, the whisper of wind by your window, the steady beat of your own heart. They all blend together into the music of Earth. It is the planet's rotation that creates the cycle of day and night, that brings the bright sunrise and the tender dusk. When one half of the world wakes to light, the other rests in shadow. And when you rise, someone else drifts into sleep. The Earth takes turns cradling each corner of the world with darkness, then waking it with golden light. One rotation, one breath, one dream following another. How strange and beautiful to realize that we stand on a vast sphere of rock hurtling through space at hundreds of thousands of kilometers per hour. Yet it feels as if we're perfectly still. No shaking, no slipping away. Perhaps it's because the universe, though immense and mysterious, moves with a quiet harmony that holds everything in balance. Everything circles something else, in perfect, peaceful order. Let your shoulders loosen. Feel your body melt into that rhythm. The blood flowing through your veins, the rise and fall of your breath, the steady beat of your heart. They are all part of the same cosmic music. You might not notice it, but you too are turning, with the Earth, with the moon, with the stars. And that is beautiful. Now picture this. From where you lie, the planet is slowly rotating toward dawn. Somewhere the sun is about to rise. Somewhere else the night is still deep. But here, right now, it's only you and the sky. A rare stillness, just enough to remind you that you are small, and yet wonderfully special. Among billions of worlds, only Earth lets you breathe, feel the wind, hear the waves, and rest in peace. In the soft darkness, you can sense safety wrapping around you, as if the planet itself is holding you close. Even as it spins so fast, the Earth keeps you anchored with an invisible but gentle force. Gravity. You don't need to do anything. Just release, and let yourself be cradled in the arms of the universe. Every turn of the Earth is a lullaby. Every night, a new page in the story of our blue planet. For billions of years, the Earth has kept spinning, creating an endless rhythm for all life. And tonight, you are part of that rhythm. A small being resting within the infinite symphony of space. Take one last deep breath. Feel the cool air pass through your nose, fill your chest, and spread into every cell. Tension fades. Outside, the Earth keeps turning, carrying you through the night, past the stars, past constellations that have shone for thousands of years. Your journey has begun. A journey of learning, of calm, of listening to the quiet whispers of the cosmos. And tonight, as you drift into sleep, the Earth will keep on spinning, softly, endlessly, rocking you gently in its eternal embrace. And as you lie still, feeling the steady rotation of the planet beneath you, a vision begins to form in your mind. From the vastness of space, Earth looks so gentle. A soft blue sphere floating in darkness, wrapped in drifting white clouds like ribbons of silk. Moonlight glides across the oceans, casting silver ripples that shimmer quietly, as if the planet itself were smiling in its own sleep. Earth, the blue planet. That's the name humanity has spoken with affection and pride. Among billions of known worlds, none shine with blue quite like this one. And that blue isn't from stone or gas, but from water, the essence of life, covering more than 71% of its surface. When astronauts gaze upon Earth from orbit, they all say the same thing. It's so blue it stops your heart. Vast oceans, winding rivers, clouds reflecting light, all merge into one radiant sapphire, spinning serenely in the dark sea of the universe. Now imagine you're drifting above the planet, looking down upon the endless ocean. The water lies calm and mirror smooth, reflecting the starlit sky. Tiny ripples rise and fade with the night breeze, melting back into the deep. From above, the Earth's curve is clear, graceful, round, perfect. Beneath the blue surface, millions of living beings rest quietly, breathing in harmony with the ocean's slow rhythm. It's that soft blue hue that makes Earth so precious in human eyes. Because when you look out into the cosmos, where most worlds glow in gray, red, or gold, Earth stands alone, a cool oasis in the cold desert of space. It's the symbol of warmth and life, of the steady cycles we live within, day after day, night after night. And it's the planet's own rotation that brings us day and night, the two gentle breaths of Earth. Each rotation takes about 24 hours. One half of the world faces the sun, bathed in golden light, while the other half rests in darkness beneath the stars. This cycle never stops, never rushes. It has carried on for 4.5 billion years, like the heartbeat of our planetary mother. Picture this. As you listen now, the sun is shining on the other side of Earth. Someone there is opening their eyes to the first light of morning, while here, night softly wraps around you, placing a kiss upon your eyelids. The Earth never truly sleeps. It simply takes turns resting. When one half dreams, the other awakens, and together they move in perfect harmony, day following night, night following day. If you've ever watched a sunset, you've seen the sky shift from orange to violet to deep blue. That's Earth turning slowly, carrying you out of the light. With every passing second, the planet tilts ever so slightly, and you drift gently into night. And when the first rays of dawn spill through your window, that too is Earth turning back toward the sun. It happens so naturally that we rarely stop to think about it. But if you do, you'll realize how magical it is. That this invisible rotation creates time itself, the rhythm of rest and awakening, of light and shadow, the heartbeat of life. Now take a slow, deep breath and imagine Earth as a giant cradle rocking gently beneath a sky full of stars. You're resting within that cradle, lulled by the planet's steady motion. No need for music, no need for words. The soft spinning alone is enough to calm your mind and ease your body. Each rotation is an embrace, each night a lullaby from nature itself. Think of it. Billions of people on this planet, all rocked to sleep by the same motion. A child in a quiet village, a sailor out at sea, an astronaut looking down from orbit, all of them gently swayed by Earth's rhythm. Perhaps that's why we find such peace in looking at the sky. Deep down, we know the planet is still turning. And as long as it keeps turning, we are safe. When you close your eyes, imagine half the Earth drifting into sleep with you. Night stretches over oceans and forests, over mountains and cities. Billions of living things are resting, while the other half awakens to light. It's the dance of the universe. No division, only connection. Light and dark, waking and sleeping. Life and rest, endlessly intertwined. Sometimes we forget that the most familiar things are also the most miraculous. Day and night, two halves of one song. When one side quiets, the other begins to hum, and then they switch, over and over, never missing a beat. The universe never stops moving, yet it always remains perfectly balanced. So when you feel tired, remember, you're being cradled in the largest cradle ever known, Earth. It carries you not only through space, but through time, through every sunrise and sunset, through every biological rhythm your body has known since the beginning of life. Outside your window, the night may still be deep, but inside, you know the planet keeps turning, steady, gentle, just as it has for billions of years. Everything is still in its place. There's nothing to rush, nothing to fear. Let yourself drift with that motion, slow, steady, safe. You are here on this beautiful blue planet, floating in the vastness of space. You are part of the great rhythm of day and night, a tiny speck, yet one that holds both light and shadow within. And tonight, as you slip softly into sleep, the Earth will continue to turn, rocking you with its own motion, carrying you through the gentle night toward a brand new dawn ahead. And as the blue planet continues to turn slowly beneath the starry sky, you begin to hear a familiar sound, the soft rhythm of waves caressing the shore, steady and tender, like the heartbeat of the Earth itself. After feeling the planet's gentle spin of day and night, now let your mind drift toward the ocean, where Earth breathes with the salty, deep rhythm of the sea. You're standing on a stretch of soft sand. The night wind plays through your hair, and the faint scent of salt lingers in the air. Before you, the water stretches endlessly, reflecting the moon as it glides across the sky. The waves rise and fall like slow, peaceful breaths, coming and going, unhurried. Each wave reaches the shore and fades, like an ancient whisper, as if the ocean itself were telling you stories that began when Earth was still young. The ocean covers about 71% of our planet's surface, a vast blue blanket that wraps the Earth, balancing its temperature, shaping its climate, and nurturing life in every form. Without it, this world would be a dry, barren rock, hot and cold by turns, silent except for the wind over stone. It is water that has softened the Earth, made it gentle, made it what you feel beneath your feet tonight. Now imagine gazing at Earth from above. The blue seas curl around the continents, embracing them with wide, endless arms. Under the moonlight, the surface glows like liquid silver, calm, gleaming, still. Tiny ripples shimmer like 1,000 crystals moving quietly in the dark. Here, the ocean is more than water. It is breath, it is heartbeat, it is the eternal soundtrack of the planet. And beneath that calm surface lies a world of astonishing depth. The ocean is not only vast, it is unimaginably deep. At its deepest point, the Mariana Trench in the Pacific, the seafloor plunges nearly 11 kilometers below the surface. Picture this. If you took Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth, 8.8 kilometers high, and placed it upside down into that trench, its peak would still be buried nearly 2 kilometers underwater. A distance so great it stretches beyond imagination. Yet in that darkness, there is no sound, no wind, only stillness so complete that even time seems to pause. It's a place where light cannot reach. No sunrise, no sunset, only eternal twilight and crushing pressure from the water above. And yet, even here, life finds a way. Bioluminescent fish, transparent jellyfish, tiny creatures that glow like sea-born fireflies. As they move, their pale blue lights drift and shimmer, like stars swimming through the deep. You can imagine yourself floating among them, surrounded by cool darkness and glittering sparks, your heartbeat blending with the slow pulse of the ocean. Everything softens, slows, as if you were resting in the calm embrace of the planet itself. Listen closely. You'll feel the ocean's rhythm. The distant surf is the Earth's deep breath. By day, the water soaks up the warmth of the sun. By night, it releases it, cooling the air, keeping the world from freezing. The ocean is the planet's great blanket. It shelters us, steadies us, and keeps the rhythm of life alive. When you breathe, you're sharing the ocean's breath too. For more than half the oxygen in the air comes from tiny marine plants, microscopic algae working quietly each day to sustain the world. Now let your imagination take you deeper. You're drifting beneath the surface. The moonlight above fades. All sound grows distant. Only the faint crackle of bubbles remains, and the soft beat of your heart. Schools of fish glide slowly by, their silvery bodies catching the last hints of light. Coral gardens sway gently with the current, like flowers blooming underwater. Down here, there is no time, no noise, no pressure to be anywhere else, only stillness. A perfect stillness where every movement, every wave happens softly, like in a dream. If you listen deeper still, you'll sense it. The ocean isn't just water. It's the memory of the planet. Every drop has lived for billions of years. Once rain, once ice, once steam rising from ancient volcanoes. Now they flow together, feeding life in every corner of the earth. The ocean has seen it all. The birth of life, the fury of storms, and the long return to calm. And tonight, it hums the same old song, slow, repeating, lulling every living thing into sleep. You're floating within that song. Each wave is a note, each drop a breath. When the waves roll in, you inhale. When they retreat, you exhale. In, out, slowly, gently. No effort, just the natural rhythm of you and the sea, moving as one. And then, after a while, you begin to rise again, toward the light of the moon. The water brightens around you. The night wind brushes your skin once more. You break the surface, standing again on the soft, cool sand. Before you, the sea stretches endlessly, silver under the moonlight. Behind you, the land lies sleeping. Forests, mountains, fields, all waiting to be discovered. The moonlight stretches across the waves, forming a silver path that leads to the shore. You follow it with your eyes, as if the moon is guiding you onward, inviting you deeper into the journey of discovery. Ahead lies the land. Towering mountains, silent deserts, ancient forests, each holding its own quiet story of the earth. And as you take slow steps across the sand, the sound of the waves fading softly behind you, you realize you've just passed through a dream. The dream of the ocean, the dream of the planet. But your journey isn't over. The moon still shines, the wind still sings, and ahead, the land is calling, waiting for you to explore its silent wonders. The moonlight still stretches across the sea, shimmering like a silver path guiding your way. You step gradually toward the shore, leaving behind the fading sound of waves, now distant, now soft, like the ocean's quiet breath far away. Before you lies the land, vast, silent, and full of mystery. Each grain of sand, each patch of soil seems to be resting after a long day. From here, the journey continues. You leave the ocean behind and step into the continent, where mountains, plains, forests, and deserts sleep beneath the starry sky. You walk across the damp sand, still holding the salt of the sea. Far ahead, Dark ridges begin to take shape, mountains rising like colossal walls beneath the night. As you approach, the ground tilts upward, the air thins and cools. The sound of waves disappears, replaced by the hush of wind curling around stone slopes, soft and ancient, like the earth whispering its oldest songs. Imagine yourself climbing slowly up a mountain trail, one quiet step at a time. The higher you go, the wider the sky becomes, and then you stop. Before you stands Everest, the tallest peak on Earth, reaching 8,148 meters above sea level. In the stillness of night, Everest is no longer a symbol of conquest, but a monument of calm. Moonlight gliding across white snow, making the summit glow faintly, as though carved from silver and starlight. Up here, the air is so thin that every breath feels precious, and yet so pure it almost glows in your lungs. The sky above is no longer blue, but a deep, endless black, studded with countless stars. It feels as if you could stretch out your hand and brush the Milky Way itself. There are no human voices here, no engines, no noise of life, only silence, absolute and sacred, the kind that makes you realize how close you are to the universe. Stay there for a moment in your imagination, on the roof of the world, where you can see the vastness of Earth beneath your feet. Mountain chains flowing like waves of stone, valleys sleeping beneath soft mist, tiny lights flickering far away. The feeling is extraordinary, small yet free, alone yet not lost. You are standing at the meeting point between earth and sky, between the living world and the infinite. When the cold wind brushes past, you gently turn away from the summit, continuing your journey into the lands below. The high plateaus unfold into vast grasslands and deserts. By day, they blaze beneath the sun, but by night, the sand cools. The air grows thin and still, so quiet you can hear your own breath. Now you stand in the middle of a sleeping desert. Before you spreads an endless sea of sand, flat and pale beneath the moon. Dunes rise and fall like frozen waves. Except here, there is no water, no sound of surf, only perfect stillness. A light breeze stirs, sending fine grains of sand dancing in the air, their faint rustle like whispers from another world. No city lights, no human noise, only you, the desert, and the stars, close. Your eyes and imagine lying upon a soft dune, the vast universe stretching above you. The cool sand molds to your body like a thin, gentle blanket. In that moment, the world feels immense and utterly peaceful. The desert, harsh by day, becomes tender by night. Here, time stands still. There is no past or future, only this quiet, eternal now. The wind carries you farther, across the dry plains and into a whispering forest at night. The scene changes completely. No more sand, but the scent of earth and leaves. Moonlight filters through the canopy, falling in soft patches on the forest floor. The trees stand still, yet you can feel the forest breathing. A gentle gust moves through, and the leaves tremble just enough to remind you that life is everywhere. From somewhere nearby, you hear the chirping of crickets, the rustle of branches above, and far away, the low, haunting call of an owl. Each sound small on its own, but together they weave the lullaby of the forest. You look up and see the towering shapes of ancient trees, giants like sequoias or bristlecone pines, standing tall and solemn. Some of them have lived for more than 4,000 years, watching countless moons rise and set, enduring every whisper of the wind. In their quiet, you can feel the slow heartbeat of the earth itself. Each passing year, they grow just a few millimeters, yet they stand unmoved, patient, enduring, peaceful. While the human world rushes by, the forest moves to its own rhythm, steady, calm, timeless. If you listen long enough, you'll realize that the forest too knows how to lull itself to sleep. Every falling leaf, every flutter, every chirp has a rhythm, like nature's own heartbeat. Here, you're no longer an observer, you're part of the song. Your breath syncs with the breath of the woods. Your pulse aligns with the rhythm of the earth. Every cell in your body remembers. This is where life began. This is where Earth keeps its peace. You walk more slowly now, until you reach a clearing, a small meadow bathed in moonlight. You look up. Through the branches, the sky unfolds in brilliant clarity. The stars shine brighter than ever, and far to the north, you see ribbons of aurora, soft waves of green and violet light flowing gently across the heavens. The lights move slowly, gracefully, like a cosmic dance performed just for this night. You stand still, feeling the cool wind against your skin, listening to the forest breathe, watching the sky shift and shimmer. Perhaps it's the first blush of dawn, or the northern lights still in motion. Either way, it is beauty, pure and tranquil. And you realize, on this planet, whether you're high on a mountain, deep in a forest, or alone in the desert, the night always carries the same quiet peace, a silence the universe has gifted to our blue world. And as the sky begins to brighten, you know the journey isn't over. Above you, that growing light is more than dawn. It's an invitation to look higher, still, beyond the treetops, beyond the atmosphere, toward the invisible veil that protects this planet. From mountains to plains, from forest to desert, now we turn our eyes upward to explore Earth's atmosphere, the tender blanket of air that cradles life and keeps our world warm. A new chapter begins, the journey into the sky, where the soft breath of the planet meets the endless arms of the universe. From that quiet forest, you lift your gaze. The sky above the treetops begins to change. A faint light, brushed with soft pink, spreads gently across the horizon, marking the boundary between night and day. You take a deep breath and notice something special about the air filling your lungs. It's cool, clear, delicate, and full of life. That invisible, soothing air flowing into you is the atmosphere, the unseen yet warm blanket that wraps around our planet. The atmosphere, a fragile layer surrounding Earth, seems invisible, yet it's one of the greatest miracles of nature. If Earth were the size of a ping-pong ball, its entire atmosphere would be no thicker than a coat of paint on its surface. So thin, almost impossible to believe. And yet this very thinness is what shields life, keeping our blue planet warm, safe, and breathing. The air we breathe every day is a masterpiece of balance. 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and a trace of argon, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. A perfect formula for life. Not too little oxygen to suffocate, not too much to ignite. Every breath you take is the result of billions of years of evolution. And in each gentle breeze brushing your cheek are atoms born long ago in the hearts of ancient stars. As the sun rises, the atmosphere paints the sky. Its molecules scatter blue light more than any other color, giving the heavens their calm, soft hue. That blue isn't just a color. It's a feeling of peace, the familiar backdrop of life. And when day fades, sunlight passes through more of the air, softening the blue into warm shades of orange and red. Sunset, the moment when the world itself seems to exhale. Imagine sitting on a hillside, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The red glow spreads across the clouds, then slowly fades. It all unfolds quietly, as if the atmosphere were tucking Earth into bed, changing its colors to prepare for sleep. When the last rays vanish, the air turns clear again, and the night sky reveals itself. A deep, silent universe full of stars. Now that night has fallen, close your eyes and feel the cool air around you. Because of it, you can breathe easily, your body feels safe, your heart beats in harmony with the planet. This air around you is the bridge between you and the world, touching your skin, sliding through your hair, filling your lungs, then leaving gently to join the sky again, continuing its eternal cycle. If you look north on certain nights, you might witness one of Earth's most enchanting wonders, the aurora. Against the dark sky, curtains of light appear, green, violet, pink, swaying slowly, curling like living ribbons. It isn't an illusion, but the dance of the cosmos itself. Charged particles from the solar wind, after traveling millions of kilometers, colliding with the gases high above Earth, causing the air to glow. It sounds powerful, but imagine it gently. The polar night sky not black, but softly alive with shimmering light. The glowing ribbons drift above you, blue melting into violet, rose fading into jade, like breaths of light rocking the earth to sleep. And you, watching in stillness, let your mind drift with the dance, weightless, peaceful, as if you too were floating among those ribbons of color. But the atmosphere isn't only beautiful, it's a silent guardian. By day, it shields us from the sun's harsh ultraviolet rays, letting in warmth but not destruction. By night, it holds in just enough heat to keep Earth from freezing. Without it, our planet would be as extreme as the moon, scorching above 100 degrees 6 by day and plunging below 150 degrees by night. Thanks to this blanket of air, Earth's temperatures remain soft, steady, and perfect for life. And beyond that, the atmosphere protects us from falling stars. Every day, tons of tiny meteors plunge toward Earth, but almost all burn up upon meeting the dense air, leaving only brief streaks of light across the sky, shooting stars. So when you wish upon one tonight, remember, it's more than a wish. It's the atmosphere, quietly catching stones from space, keeping us safe in its embrace. Now, sitting beneath the night sky, you can feel it clearly. Air is not just something you breathe, it's an embrace. It lifts the wings of birds, carries the voices of life, and holds the scent of rain, grass, and sea. Though invisible, it has always been here, surrounding you from your first breath to your last dream. Take one more deep breath. The air is cool, familiar. It moves through your lungs, spreads through your body, and returns to the sky, to join the breath of trees, of oceans, of mountains. Each of your breaths is a note in Earth's great symphony, a single beat in the endless rhythm of life. And as you rest within that thought, imagine the whole planet sleeping beneath this soft blanket of air. Across the land, all living things, birds, fish, people, trees, are resting in the same shared breath. No one is alone. No one is left behind. All life is being held, protected beneath this gentle veil. In this tranquil atmosphere, the planet itself seems to breathe, a long, deep, tender breath. And as you inhale, you are breathing with Earth. Let yourself move with that rhythm. Slow down. Let your mind dissolve into this sweet stillness. For as night falls and the atmosphere embraces the planet, all of Earth's life rests together. Every creature, every heart, drifting into the shared sleep of the blue world. And here, Under this airy quilt and the silver moon above, we turn the page to a new chapter. The journey into life itself. Life that breathes, that dreams, that sleeps quietly in the arms of Earth. And that is the next wonder we will explore. Beneath the soft blanket of air that wraps the planet, the night continues. The wind is still. Only the faintest breeze stirs the leaves. From the deepest forests to the farthest oceans, everything breathes together. One shared rhythm, one collective breath of life. When you inhale, you breathe with the planet. When you exhale, you return a part of yourself to nature. And within that eternal exchange lies something miraculous. Life. The very thing that makes Earth different from all the cold, silent worlds in the universe. Among billions upon billions of stars and countless planets orbiting them, so far humanity has found only one place where life exists: Earth. Our blue planet is a rare oasis where water flows, trees grow, birds sing, and hearts know how to love. In the vast frozen dark of space, Earth drifts like a warm cradle of life, carrying millions of living beings, breathing, feeling, and experiencing the world in their own beautiful ways. Imagine seeing Earth from afar, just a tiny blue dot among the stars. Yet inside that dot, miracles unfold every second. Trees reaching toward the light, birds soaring over green canopies, fish gliding through deep oceans, and people, like you, listening quietly to the story of their home. A living planet in a silent cosmos, a singular wonder among a trillion possibilities. Scientists estimate that Earth holds about 8.7 million species, from invisible microbes to towering sequoias in ancient forests, from blue whales weighing hundreds of tons drifting through the sea, to fragile butterflies that live only a few days in the sun. Each one is a unique note, together composing the symphony of life, a melody that has played on this planet for more than 4 billion years. If you listen closely, you might hear it. The rustling leaves as drums, the ocean waves as a soft bass, the birdsong as a high, bright melody. And in that symphony, humans are only a small sound, but an essential one. All living things share the same delicate balance, bound together by invisible threads: breath, water, light, and time. Just like now, you're breathing with millions of other creatures. The same air, the same water, the same earth. We are not apart from nature. We are a part of it. And when you remember that, a calmness settles in. The feeling of coming home. On this peaceful night, while the planet rests, imagine each creature drifting into its own sleep. A small bird tucks its head beneath its wing, its heart slowing gently in the dark. Beneath the waves, a great blue whale floats in silence, half its brain awake to keep it breathing, the other half dreaming. Dolphins do the same, sleeping with half a mind, listening always to the whispers of the sea. In the forest, a bear curls inside its den, sleeping through long winter months, waiting for the sun of spring to wake it once more. From the largest to the smallest beings, each takes its turn to rest, to pause, to heal, to begin again. Even life itself needs sleep, so it can continue, renew, and start a new cycle. As you listen to these words, imagine that across the world, millions of living things are resting with you. You are not alone. You are sleeping with the earth. And as you exhale softly, remember that life, though fragile, is woven from the grand laws of the cosmos. Life doesn't exist apart from the planet. It moves in rhythm with it. Day and night, spring and winter, light and shadow. Because of Earth's rotation and orbit around the sun, these natural cycles were born. and life learned to dance to their beat. When Earth turns toward the sun, light awakens life. Trees begin to photosynthesize, turning sunlight into energy. Flowers open, birds take flight. When night falls, most living things rest, as if listening to the planet's own heartbeat. Even trees sleep. Their leaves droop, their metabolism slows, waiting quietly for dawn. For thousands of years, humans have looked up at the sky and learned from these rhythms. Our ancestors studied the stars to navigate, to mark the seasons, to plant and harvest, and to tell stories of gods and heroes. On long nights before electricity, they sat by the fire, pointed at the constellations, and gave them names. Silent friends watching over humanity's dreams. And today, in our bright and noisy world, we can still find that same peace, just by looking up. The same stars, the same planet, the same breath. The universe may be vast, but we still belong here. When you close your eyes, imagine Earth as one giant living body. The oceans are its veins, the forests its lungs, and we humans are but tiny cells within it. Yet all are connected, moving together in fragile, perfect harmony. Every drop of water, every grain of dust, every breath is part of this intricate web we call life. Let your heart slow down. Place your hand over your chest. Feel the planet's rhythm beating there. That pulse is yours, and it is Earth's. Slow, steady, eternal. Life has persisted here for billions of years. Through storms and ice ages, through destruction and rebirth. No matter how the world changes, life continues. Like a river that never stops, sometimes rushing, sometimes calm, but always flowing forward. And now, as your eyelids grow heavier, let me whisper this. Life doesn't just exist. It tells a story. A story that has been unfolding for millions of years, from the planet's fiery birth to the first stirrings of life in the ancient sea. So let that quiet curiosity stay with you, a small, warm flame in the dark. Sleep deeply now, for when you awaken, we will continue the journey along the great river of time, through the living history of our blue planet. Life continues, flowing endlessly, like a river that never stops. You can feel it with every breath, every heartbeat, in the quiet rhythm of the earth we've just listened to together. But if we pause for a moment and look deeper, beyond this fleeting instant, beyond the span of human years and stories, we begin to see that Earth has existed far longer than our minds can easily comprehend. Close your eyes and imagine standing beside a vast, slow-moving river. Its waters aren't rushing, but gliding, calm, steady, unhurried. That river is time, and our planet has been drifting upon it for 454 billion years, a number that sounds like data, but in truth, it is a span so immense that everything humanity has ever known fits into only a tiny sliver of it. A single, soft breath in the music of the cosmos. If Earth's history were condensed into a single 24-hour day, the first living cells would appear around 4 a.m. The dinosaurs wouldn't arrive until 10 p.m. And humans, our entire story, would begin in the final few seconds before midnight. Just a few seconds, and yet in those moments, we've looked to the stars, walked on the moon, and begun to tell the story of our world. It's humbling and somehow beautiful, a reminder of Earth's patience, endurance, and grace. The planet began as dust and starlight, remnants of the material left behind after the birth of the sun. Those fragments collided, melted, fused, and slowly formed the world we live on. From a blazing sphere of molten rock, Earth cooled, its crust hardened, and water gathered into oceans. In those ancient depths, the first chemical whispers of life began. Tiny, determined cells that would one day give rise to everything we know. From there, time began to carve its slow story into stone, wind, and water. Imagine watching a film so slow that each second equals 1,000,000 years. You'd see continents drift, collide, and separate. Massive puzzle pieces gliding across a global sea. Scientists call this motion plate tectonics, the slow movement of Earth's crust. Each year, the continents shift only a few centimeters, slower than your fingernails grow. Yet over millions of years, those tiny movements reshape the entire planet. Once, all land was joined together in a single supercontinent, Pangaea, before breaking apart to become the continents we know today. If you could fast forward through hundreds of millions of years, you'd see land masses drift like great rafts, colliding, spinning, and separating again. A slow, eternal geological dance, quiet yet full of power. And the most remarkable part? That dance continues still, right beneath your feet, moment by moment. Time doesn't just reshape the land, it changes the planet's rhythm itself. Did you know that today is slightly longer than a day hundreds of millions of years ago? That's because the moon, Earth's faithful companion, is slowly tugging on the planet, gradually lengthening each rotation. Every century, a day grows longer by about 1.7 milliseconds. Too small to notice, but over eons, it adds up. During the age of dinosaurs, a day lasted about 23 hours and 30 minutes. Now, it's half an hour longer, and in the far future, days will grow even slower. It's a gentle, unhurried change, like watching the sun rise in slow motion. Steady, inevitable, timeless. Through all those ages, Earth has changed its face again and again. There were times when the planet was locked in ice, global winters so fierce that oceans froze, and most life vanished. Then came warmer eras, when jungles spread across the land and dinosaurs ruled the continents. 65 million years ago, a massive asteroid struck, ending one world and opening the way for mammals and humans to begin. If Earth were a book, each page would be an era, filled with upheaval, loss, and rebirth. And through it all, life never stopped. It endured every trial, sprouting again and again, like grass after hail, like a seed finding light in the dark. Earth is not only the cradle of life, but its caretaker, a mother who shelters her children through billions of years of storms and change. When we look back, we realize how brief our own story is. Everything we love and know is just a flicker in that grand timeline. Human history, our art, our laughter, our fears, is barely the blink of an eye to the planet. And while we hurry through our days, Earth keeps turning, quietly, steadily, continuing its long orbit around the sun. In the face of such vastness, our worries seem to soften. Every joy and sorrow we hold will be carried away by time, like ripples fading into a boundless sea. So as you listen to these words, let your mind drift with the planet's rotation, slow, steady, peaceful. Because through all these billions of years, one companion has always been there, a silent friend watching over Earth's every age. Each night, when you look up, you see its light, the moon. Our moon has circled Earth since the planet was young, never leaving, not once. From the dawn of time to the rise of humankind, it has been there, casting its gentle glow upon the world, like the calm gaze of an ancient friend. And that is where our journey now leads, to the moon, Earth's dearest companion, the lamp of our nights, and the timeless witness to the story of this planet we call home. Across 4.5 billion years of long, unbroken history, Earth has never been alone. Through ages of ice and fire, through storms of meteors and eras of life and extinction, one silent companion has always journeyed beside it, a gentle light gliding faithfully through the dark, the moon. When you lift your eyes to the night sky, you see it. The calm, round face of the moon, casting silver light that falls softly onto trees, rivers, rooftops. That light is not its own. It's sunlight reflected off the moon's cold, pale surface, softened, filtered by millions of kilometers of space, so that by the time it touches Earth, it carries only peace. Imagine a quiet night. No cars, no noise, just the faint hum of insects and moonlight streaming through the window, resting still upon the floor. The moon watches, silent, tender, a loyal friend to our planet, keeper of the oceans, guardian of dreams. Long before humans learned to write, the moon appeared in songs and stories, in lullabies and legends. In every culture, it has been a vessel for memory, a place where people have sent their hopes, their longing, their calm. It's hard to believe how far away that familiar glow truly is. On average, the moon orbits 384,000 kilometers from Earth, about 30 Earth diameters apart. If you lined up 30 Earths side by side, the last one would finally reach her. And yet, despite that vast distance, the moon's face is clear and near. Its soft curves, its bright and shadowed craters, all visible to the naked eye, as though it were hanging just above your head. And there's something special about it. The moon turns on its axis at the exact same rate that it orbits Earth. That's why we always see the same face, while the other, the dark side, forever hides from view. For millions of years, humankind has known only this one face, like a friend who always turns to us with the same calm smile. Wherever you live, whatever century you belong to, the moon you see is the very same your ancestors saw 1,000 years ago. A familiarity that feels eternal, a whisper from time itself. In the silence of space, the moon may seem small, but its influence reaches deeply into Earth's heart. It's the moon's gentle pull of gravity that creates the tides, the daily rise and fall of the sea. At every shore in the world, you can hear the planet breathe. As the moon draws the water toward it, the ocean swells, and as it drifts away, the tide recedes, leaving behind rippled sand and the scent of salt. Close your eyes and picture yourself lying in a hammock near the midnight shore. The waves roll in, then out, steady, soft, rhythmic. It's the Earth's breath, guided by the moon. No music, no words, only the sound of water, slowing your heartbeat, deepening your breath. Your body begins to float in that rhythm. The rise and fall of the tide, slow, gentle, endless. But the moon does more than move the sea. It keeps the Earth itself balanced. Without it, our planet's tilt could shift wildly, sending climates into chaos, seasons out of rhythm, life into uncertainty. The moon's quiet gravity holds the Earth steady, keeping its seasons mild, its climate kind. If Earth is the heart, the moon is the second heartbeat, a pulse of stability, keeping everything in harmony. And beyond science, the moon remains forever poetic. Under its glow, generations have dreamed. Poets, painters, children at their windows, all have looked up and imagined. Some see a gentle sister, some see a lonely traveler beneath a tree, some see simply a soft, silver comfort to fall asleep beneath. And then, what was once a myth became real. In 1969, humankind set foot on the moon. When astronaut Neil Armstrong stepped onto its pale surface, he said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." In that moment, all of humanity looked up together, to the same moon that had shone for millennia, and now, upon it, were the footprints of our kind. Dream and reality met in silence, and the moon once again became witness to the boundless reach of human wonder. Now, imagine yourself standing there, on the moon's surface. No air, no wind, only pure, endless stillness. Gravity is gentle, just 1/6 of Earth's, so every step feels light, almost weightless. When you move, fine lunar dust drifts upward, glittering faintly before settling back down, like silver snow. And far away, you see Earth, a blue gem suspended in the black, more radiant and alive than any star in the sky. You stand there, no longer an earthbound being, but a visitor of the cosmos, watching your home from afar. You feel both infinite and small, and in that stillness, you understand. From this distance, you can truly see how delicate, how precious our planet is. The only world we know that breathes, sings, and dreams. The moon remains where it's always been, casting its quiet light, reflecting the warmth of the sun. And beyond the silver horizon, where its pale surface meets the dark, another glow begins to rise, a golden light spreading outward, the sun awakening the distant sky. Now let the moon guide you onward. Leave behind the blue world, sail past the silver companion, and follow the growing light ahead. Because waiting there, burning at the heart of our solar family, is the source of all warmth and life, the sun. And together, we'll continue our voyage. Departing from home, carrying with us the moon's gentle glow as we journey toward the sun, where every story of life begins. From the stillness of the moon, you stand there, facing the endless dark of space. And at the far edge of that black horizon, a vast golden light begins to rise, growing, brightening, glowing with warmth. It is more than light. It is life itself, the beating heart of our solar system, the sun. You close your eyes, imagining yourself leaving Earth's orbit, drifting through the silent expanse of space, drawing closer to that blazing sphere, the eternal fire that burns in the cold emptiness of the cosmos. The nearer you drift, the more the light spreads. But it's not harsh. In your mind, it softens, a smooth wave of warmth that brushes your skin and sweeps away the darkness. Picture the sun as an everlasting flame, burning tirelessly, warming every planet that dances around it. You cannot touch it, but you know, without its fire, there would be only silence and frost. The sun is an average star, neither giant nor small by cosmic standards. And yet, it is the center of everything we know. It holds 99.8% of all the mass in the solar system. Almost everything, every grain of matter, belongs to its gravity. The planets, moons, asteroids, all are simply dust, left over from the birth of this single radiant star, spinning around it like sparks in an endless dance of light. The sun's diameter stretches about 1.4 million kilometers, 109 times the size of Earth, and its mass is 330,000 times greater than our planet's. Those numbers are staggering, yet the universe doesn't shout its power. It moves in silence, in perfect rhythm, reminding us that greatness often speaks softly. Every world orbits the sun, just as every human heart orbits the quiet need for warmth, for life, for belonging. Then comes a gentle truth. Sunlight takes 8 minutes to reach Earth. The golden rays that greet your morning began their journey 8 minutes ago, traveling 150 million kilometers through space just to touch your skin. Imagine that. 8 minutes of light, 8 minutes of life, 8 minutes of a warm hello from our distant, glowing mother star. Now close your eyes once more. Picture yourself standing in the dark, feeling sunlight spread slowly through your body. Even before you see it, your skin senses it. Your cells awaken, as if that warmth were whispering to every part of you. That is the sun's quiet miracle. Light that finds you in darkness, energy that never fades, the invisible pulse that keeps the blue planet alive. Now let's drift closer still, toward the worlds that live in the sun's gentle zone of warmth. The first we meet is Mercury, small, bare, swift. The planet nearest to the sun, Mercury races around its star at a breathtaking 47 kilometers per second, completing 1 year in just 88 Earth days. The Romans named it well, after Mercury, the fleet-footed messenger of the gods. Its surface is a memory of collisions, ancient craters and frozen scars, each one carved by time. There is no air, no clouds, no sound. The sky is always black, even when the sun rises. And without air to hold its warmth, the planet swings between extremes, scorching 400 degrees by day, freezing 180 degrees by night. But don't let the numbers frighten you. Instead, picture yourself standing there, beneath a sun 3 times larger than it ever appears from Earth. It burns against a black sky, light against silence, fire against void, a perfect contrast, a serene design of the cosmos. As Mercury fades behind you, you drift onward, to Venus, the second planet, Earth's so-called twin in size, but with a soul far different. Where Earth is calm, Venus is shrouded in mystery, beautiful, radiant, and fiercely untamed. Its surface hides beneath a veil of thick golden clouds, never revealing its land to any human eye. Venus spins backward, the opposite of almost every planet. Here, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. One single day on Venus lasts 243 Earth days, longer than its year of 225 days. If you lived there, you would see only 2 sunrises in an entire year. Yet despite its harshness, Venus shines with unmatched brilliance, the brightest object in our night sky after the moon. We call it the evening star and the morning star, the final candle of night, the first spark of dawn. If you could float among its clouds, around 50 kilometers above the surface, you'd find a strange and gentle world. The temperature there is mild, around 25 Saturn, and the air glows softly orange. Sunlight scatters through misty haze. Slow winds carry you adrift through curtains of vapor like golden silk. There is no sound, only the whisper of motion. Perhaps, if life ever found a home beyond Earth, it could be here, among the tender clouds of Venus, where light still warms without burning and the winds caress without harm. Leaving Venus behind, you glance back once more. Far away, Earth gleams, a turquoise jewel floating quietly in shadow, circling the same parent star. That is home, the place that holds everything you love. But our journey does not end there. Beyond it waits another world. Mars, the red planet, dry and cold, yet filled with dreams. Before we go farther, take one last look back. We have passed the inner planets, the realms closest to the sun, where light blazes, heat reigns, and yet creation finds balance in its beauty. Each planet follows its own path, each orbit a note in the grand symphony of the cosmos. Now, drift outward once more, leaving Earth's orbit behind, moving beyond the glare of sunlight, toward a faint red spark glowing at the edge of vision. That is Mars, a world of rust and dust, cold and silent, yet pulsing with mystery and hope. And now, we leave the fiery heart of the sun behind and travel farther out, toward a quiet, amber world, waiting beneath the distant light. Let the cosmic wind carry us, soft as breath, through the silent sea of space. Mars is rising, bathed in the pale warmth of the faraway sun. Leaving the bright embrace of the sun, our imaginary ship drifts slowly outward, slipping past the blue orbit of Earth. Ahead, in the vast black sea of space, a faint orange glow begins to appear, growing larger, warmer, like a tiny ember in the dark. That is Mars, the red planet, the world that has stirred within humankind some of its deepest dreams. The dream of finding life, and perhaps of finding ourselves in the great silence of the cosmos. You gaze out through the window of your mind, and Mars swells before you, a shimmering ruby dusted with gold. As you land upon its surface, an endless plain of red-orange sand stretches before you, silent, frozen, and achingly beautiful. The ground is colored by time itself. Its rust-red hue comes from iron oxide, the dust of ancient stones, giving this cold world the glow of quiet fire. You walk across a desert of crimson dust that reaches the farthest horizon. A thin wind brushes past, lifting pale veils of sand into the air, so that the sky is never clear, always a soft haze of amber and gold. The air is so thin that even your voice barely travels. Sound itself feels swallowed by stillness. Yet when the sun begins to set, something wondrous happens. The sky turns blue. Unlike Earth, the dust of Mars scatters light differently. It holds on to the blue near the fading sun, painting a halo of icy color as daylight dies. So, as the sun sinks, half the size it appears from Earth, you stand beneath a pale blue dusk, a quiet mirror to our world's warm twilight. No voices, no birds, no ocean waves, only this, a cold, tender light whispering through a foreign sky. Beneath that hush, the landscape of Mars unfolds, majestic, yet deeply still. Though only half the size of Earth, it holds some of the greatest wonders in the entire solar system. Far in the distance rises a shadow so vast it seems to touch the heavens. Olympus Mons, a volcano standing 22 kilometers high, 2.5 times taller than Mount Everest. But unlike Earth's jagged peaks, its slopes are smooth and gentle, spreading wide like an ancient plateau frozen in time. Now it sleeps, a giant at rest beneath the eternal dark. If you stood upon its ridge at night, the sky would be glittering black above you, and far below, tiny dust storms would spiral through the valleys, glowing faintly in the moonlight. No thunder, no echoes, only stillness stretching to infinity. A silence so deep it seems to cleanse the mind, to slow the pulse of thought itself. In the 100-degree chill of the Martian equator, time feels suspended, every movement slower, every breath softer. And in that quiet, you might sense an echo of the past, a time when Mars was warmer, alive with rivers and rain. The evidence is still here. Ancient riverbeds carved through stone, minerals that could only form in water, whispers from a planet that once flowed and dreamed. Imagine billions of years ago, sitting by a Martian river, listening to water ripple over red stones. The sky is pale blue, the sun smaller, yet kind. And slowly, through the ages, the rivers dry, the air thins, and Mars turns to desert and ice. Now those memories sleep in the dust, but if you stand here long enough, you can almost feel them. A faint warmth from a time long gone, a dream of a lost home. And yet Mars still inspires hope. Perhaps deep beneath its frozen crust, In pockets of ice or buried soil, life still lingers, tiny, unseen, waiting. And maybe one day, humans will bring the planet back to life, planting trees, flowing water, and letting voices and laughter fill the silence again. When you look up, two small moons drift across the dim sky, Phobos and Deimos. They are not round and radiant like our own moon, but rough, gray stones, irregular and small. They race across the heavens so quickly that you could watch one rise and set in the same night. Sometimes, one passes before the sun, casting a tiny coin-shaped eclipse, a brief shadow, then gone. On Mars, these moons are humble but comforting, two glowing embers keeping watch. As you lie upon the cold sand and watch them pass, the loneliness of this world feels softer, gentler. Perhaps Mars is not truly empty. Perhaps it only sleeps, still dreaming, waiting for someone to call its name. Let your thoughts drift now with the Martian wind. Hear the soft rustle of dust. Feel the boundless space around you. No sound except the quiet rhythm of your heartbeat, beating with the slow spin of this red planet. And as sunlight begins to return, spilling faintly over the horizon, you know the journey is far from over. Ahead, beyond the orbit of Mars, lies a new frontier, a realm of giants. Past the asteroid belt await the great gas worlds, colossal spheres of storm and cloud, where lightning flashes through eternal winds and the laws of Earth no longer apply. Beyond Mars lie the great worlds, vast oceans without shores, skies that swirl and never sleep. Let us continue our voyage toward the mightiest of them all, Jupiter, the king of planets, where storms rage like hearts of thunder, and the dance of clouds beats like the pulse of the universe itself. From the quiet blue sky of Mars, our imaginary ship begins to drift again, leaving orbit, gliding farther outward into the vastness of the solar system. Ahead lies the asteroid belt, a great river of stone, where millions of space rocks float and shimmer in the fading sunlight. You pass through it slowly, as if sailing across a cosmic stream, where every fragment of rock glints like a speck of golden dust suspended in water. And beyond that river of light, a shape begins to emerge in the dark, immense, magnificent, and strangely calm. Jupiter, the giant of the solar system. It grows gradually before you, so vast it nearly fills your vision, a swirling sphere of color and motion. Bands of orange, cream, gold, and brown wrap around it like flowing silk, gently twisting and folding into one another. If Earth were the size of a grape, Jupiter would be a giant watermelon, a playful comparison, but one that captures a glimpse of its unimaginable scale. Jupiter's diameter is 11 times that of Earth, and its volume could hold more than 1/300 Earths inside. Numbers that large seem cold and abstract, but when you see it floating there, calm, immense, glowing softly in the dark, it feels almost gentle, not a raging inferno, not a fortress of storms, but a quiet giant, as if the planet itself were asleep, breathing slowly in the silence of space. As you drift closer, the colors sharpen. Those swirling bands are not painted stripes, but immense rivers of gas, each layer moving at a different speed, each hue belonging to a different world of wind. They circle the planet endlessly, currents of ammonia and hydrogen weaving patterns like marbled glass. From afar they seem still, but within them lies constant motion, a masterpiece that moves, alive and serene. And there, among the flowing clouds, you see it. The Great Red Spot, a vast storm that has raged for over 3 centuries. It's so large it could swallow 2 Earths whole. Yet it doesn't rage in chaos. From this distance, it turns slowly, gracefully, a great red spiral drifting through cream and gold. It looks less like destruction and more like rhythm, a silent heartbeat at the center of a dream. Imagine yourself floating there, just above Jupiter's upper clouds, gazing down into the storm. No thunder, no roar. Only the quiet folding of clouds upon clouds, like soft ribbons of smoke. The red fades to amber, to pale orange, to white, then disappears. Its beauty in motion, the vastness of calm power, as if the universe itself were taking a deep, measured breath. And surrounding this giant is an entire family of moons. More than 79 that we know of, each one a tiny companion orbiting its great protector. Jupiter is almost a miniature solar system of its own. The four largest, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, were discovered by Galileo in the 1600s, and to this day, they remain among the most fascinating worlds ever found. Io glows in shades of yellow and orange, its surface scarred and alive with volcanoes. But tonight, in our gentle imagining, you see only thin veils of smoke rising slowly, lit by Jupiter's glow, floating upward in silence. Europa, smaller and paler, is a world of ice, a white pearl etched with blue cracks. Beneath its frozen crust, scientists believe lies an ocean, a deep, hidden sea that may cradle life. Imagine standing upon that glassy surface and looking up to see Jupiter towering overhead, filling half the sky, glimmering like a second sun. Now and then, you'd see shadows move across it, Io or Ganymede drifting before the planet's face, casting tiny eclipses that darken and then fade away, slow, delicate, mesmerizing, like music only the silence of space can play. Ganymede, the largest moon, even bigger than Mercury, appears as a gray, weathered world, a small planet in its own right, pocked and ancient. And Callisto, the outermost, is dark, scarred, and quiet, its surface marked by the history of the cosmos. A philosopher among moons, drifting calmly through eternity. Every moon around Jupiter tells a story. Together they form a kingdom in motion, a realm of harmony between power and peace, between energy and stillness. And as you look upon Jupiter from afar, something deeply human stirs within you. It feels familiar, this balance between strength and gentleness, motion and calm. Jupiter is the great guardian, a quiet protector, a symbol of patience in the storm. Even as its heart swirls with eternal tempests, from a distance it radiates serenity, a vast, unspoken kindness, as though it's holding the solar system in an invisible embrace. You take a slow, deep, imaginary breath. The air is cold but alive. You feel weightless, floating in a slow, boundless dream. Everything around you is enormous, too vast to fully grasp, and yet somehow utterly peaceful. As Jupiter begins to fade behind you, the journey continues. Ahead lies another world, graceful, elegant, adorned with shimmering rings of light. From afar, it looks like a jewel wearing a halo of silver. We've said goodbye to the gentle giant of storms. Now let us travel toward a different kind of beauty, the most graceful planet of them all, where sunlight dances through icy rings. Let us continue our voyage to Saturn, the silent dancer of the cosmos, adorned in light. As you drift away from mighty Jupiter and its countless moons, our imaginary ship sails farther into the frozen reaches of space. The sunlight fades to a pale thread, a small golden star trembling in the distance, casting only the gentlest glow across the hull. The farther you travel, the quieter the universe becomes, as though the cosmos itself is taking a slow, peaceful breath. And then, ahead of you, in that deep black stillness, A faint silver shimmer begins to appear. A perfect circle of light, delicate as a painter's brushstroke on a dark canvas. That is Saturn, the pale golden jewel adorned with the icy rings of the cosmos. As you draw closer, the planet comes into view. Graceful, poised, utterly different from the majestic power of Jupiter. Its soft yellow hue glows like silk in candlelight, sometimes blushing faintly orange beneath the fading sun. Encircling it is a wonder unlike any other. Rings that stretch 273,000 kilometers wide, yet are only about 10 meters thick. It seems impossible, so vast, yet so delicate that if you viewed them edge-on, they would nearly vanish from sight. And yet, when sunlight touches them, they ignite, glimmering like the grooves of an ancient record, each ring a separate melody. Imagine yourself gliding slowly between them. Around you, billions upon billions of icy particles drift, some as fine as grains of sand, others as large as mountains, all circling the planet in perfect harmony. There is no chaos here, no collision, only motion in balance, a cosmic waltz choreographed by gravity itself. Each shard of ice catches the sunlight, scattering it into a million tiny sparks, like starlight snow falling forever in space. If you stay long enough, you'll see the dance slow almost to stillness, each ring moving in time to the silent lullaby of the universe, the ballet of frozen light. And here's the gentle secret of Saturn. For all its grandeur, it is astonishingly light. Its density is only 0.7 times that of water. So if there were a vast enough ocean in space, Saturn would float. A golden sphere drifting softly on black waves. Picture that, a cosmic sea, perfectly calm, and Saturn resting upon it, its silver rings glowing faintly like moonlight rippled across the surface. It's an image both unreal and serene, as if the planet exists simply to make the heavens beautiful. As you orbit closer, you sense the elegance of this world, its pale clouds gliding slowly along the equator, its thin rings spinning in quiet perfection. Though it's 9 times larger than Earth, Saturn feels weightless, its presence defined not by strength, but by grace. It embodies the power of stillness, a planet that never rushes and yet never stops moving. Surrounding it is a family of moons, more than 80 that we know of, each a small frozen jewel, each holding its own quiet mystery. But among them all, one glows brightest. Titan, Saturn's greatest moon, and one of the strangest worlds we've ever found. Titan is shrouded in a thick orange haze, its atmosphere so dense that the surface remains hidden from view. Beneath that fog, there are lakes and rivers of liquid methane, flowing gently through icy plains. The temperature there is 140 Taradum, but the scene is hauntingly beautiful, a world of eternal twilight. Imagine stepping onto Titan's surface. The air is heavy and soft, and every sound seems muffled, as if the world is whispering instead of speaking. Before you lies a perfectly still lake, its surface smooth as glass, its sky dim and amber. The sunlight is faint, barely 1% of what reaches Earth, yet it glows just enough to turn the fog to gold. You drop a small stone into the lake, and instead of a splash, you hear only a gentle thump, a slow ripple spreading outward, then fading into silence. Titan feels like a younger Earth, still half asleep, its story yet to be written. Above you, Saturn hangs enormous in the sky. So close it fills your entire horizon. Its rings shimmer through the haze, a halo of ice and light watching over this silent world below. In that moment, you understand. The beauty of Saturn is not in its brilliance, but in its calm. It is the embodiment of balance, a lesson written in motion, a reminder that silence, too, can be powerful. As you drift away from Titan and from Saturn itself, you look back through the window of your ship. The golden planet now glows softly in the distance, its ring a thin, perfect arc of silver etched across the dark. Sunlight glints off countless shards of ice, spreading like frozen fireworks suspended in eternal stillness. It is cold and warm and dreamlike all at once, a vision that lingers even after you turn away. And now, the voyage continues. Ahead of you, the cosmos grows darker still. The light of the sun is faint now, no more than the glow of a distant candle. But far beyond, two small sapphire lights wait in the deep. Uranus and Neptune, the icy worlds that guard the outer edge of the solar system. We leave behind Saturn, the golden dancer with her silver rings, and drift onward into a deeper blue. Ahead, where the sun is only a whisper, two turquoise gems turn in the cold. Uranus and Neptune, the last children of light, spinning in the quiet beyond. Leaving behind Saturn's silver rings, so thin they could be made of breath, your imagined ship drifts onward, slowly, softly, into the deepening dark. The sun is now only a pale spark in the distance, a tiny candle flame trembling against the endless night. The farther you go, the colder it becomes. The black of space turns faintly blue, as if even the darkness has begun to freeze. And there, two soft glimmers emerge from the void, twin jewels of icy light. Uranus and Neptune, the final children of the sun, turning quietly at the farthest edge of the solar system. First, you come upon Uranus, the planet that lies on its side. Nearly 2.8 billion kilometers from the sun, it appears as a smooth, tranquil sphere, a gentle turquoise orb, calm and untroubled. No glowing storms like Jupiter, no radiant rings like Saturn, only stillness, pure and cool, like winter's ocean under a pale sky. Yet beneath that simplicity hides something strange. Uranus spins almost completely tipped over, its axis tilted by nearly 98 degrees. It doesn't turn upright like the others. It rolls slowly, gracefully, as though a giant marble were drifting sideways through the dark. This tilt gives Uranus the strangest of seasons. For 42 Earth years, one half of the planet faces the sun, bathed in a constant, dim daylight. Then, for the next 42 years, that same side sinks into unbroken night. Imagine standing at the North Pole of Uranus. During its long summer, the sun never sets. It circles the horizon endlessly, glowing faintly, like twilight that refuses to fade. But when winter comes, the sun disappears completely, and the world falls into a blue-tinted dream. A night that lasts a lifetime. Even during day, sunlight here is weaker than a full moon on Earth. There are no harsh shadows, no bright gleam, only a soft glow everywhere, gentle as breath, as if the whole planet were wrapped in a calm exhale. Time itself seems slower here. Everything moves like a lullaby made of blue light. The air, if you could call it that, is a thick mix of hydrogen, helium, and methane. It is the methane that gives Uranus its delicate color, absorbing the reds of sunlight and leaving behind only the cool, clear blues. There is no solid ground, no mountain, no ocean shore, only endless layers of gas, smooth and even as glassy water. Sometimes faint white clouds drift by, or a dark band ripples for a while, signs of faraway storms. But mostly Uranus just sleeps, a great quiet sphere floating in silence. Now imagine descending into its calm. You drift through blue upon blue. No horizon, no edges, just a weightless stillness. The wind is slow, too thin to be felt. There is no thunder, no echo, only peace, as though you are floating inside your own breath. And in that stillness, something in you softens, as if this calm, impossible world were showing you what silence truly means. Leaving Uranus behind, the ship drifts farther still, into colder, darker space toward the last great planet, Neptune. From afar, Neptune glows a deeper blue, richer, darker, like the ocean at midnight. It is colder, heavier, more distant, more than 4.5 billion kilometers from the sun. Sunlight takes over 4 hours to reach it, and when it does, it arrives pale and weary, barely enough to cast a shadow. If you looked back, the sun would be nothing more than a single bright star among billions of others. Neptune's atmosphere, like Uranus's, is made of hydrogen, helium, and methane. But here, thin white clouds race through the blue at 2,000 kilometers per hour, the fastest winds in the entire solar system. Still, if you were floating there, you'd feel almost nothing. The air is so thin that even the strongest gusts would only brush your cheek like a soft whisper. Across the planet's vast surface, giant dark storms drift slowly, their edges fading into the deep. The Great Dark Spot, a massive vortex once seen by Voyager 2, is not eternal like Jupiter's red spot. It comes and goes, appearing, dissolving, as if Neptune itself is breathing in and out. Here, time moves differently. A single year lasts 165 Earth years. From the day we discovered Neptune in 1846, it took until 2011 for the planet to finish one full orbit around the Sun. Imagine a world where spring lasts decades, where dawn and dusk each take a generation to unfold. Picture yourself sitting on a cloud of Neptune. Beneath you, an endless sea of swirling gas. Above, a violet blue sky so dark it seems to drink the light. Far in the distance, the sun shines like a lonely spark. There are no landmarks, no sound, no movement, but your own heartbeat. You have reached the edge of the solar system and the edge of time itself. Both Uranus and Neptune wear faint, smoky rings, delicate halos that shimmer like strands of mist, and each is surrounded by icy moons. Among them, one stands apart. Triton, Neptune's largest moon, its surface pale pink, dusted with frozen nitrogen. From deep beneath the ice, plumes of gas burst upward for kilometers, then fall back down as pink snow. Now imagine standing there. The sky is dark violet. Far above, Neptune looms huge and luminous, 10 times the size of Earth's moon in your sky. The air is silent. The snow drifts down slowly, light as stardust. You are standing on a lonely, beautiful world, one where every movement feels like a dream slowed almost to stillness. And when you look outward, you see there are no more worlds ahead. Only darkness, only distance. Here lie the last cold fragments, Pluto, Eris, Makemake, small, icy wanderers drifting through the Kuiper belt, where the solar system fades into the infinite. Beyond Neptune, the sun becomes just another star among billions. We have reached the edge, where light turns into memory and time dissolves into quiet. But our journey isn't over. Ahead lies the interstellar sea, where other stars are calling. Rest for a while, and when you wake, we'll drift on into forever. Drifting away from Neptune, your imagined ship continues its quiet voyage into the stillness. The sun is now nothing more than a tiny pinprick of light, a pale ember trembling amid the sea of stars. Around you stretches an endless darkness tinted blue, a space so silent that even your heartbeat feels like an echo. You have reached the edge of the solar system, where sunlight fades into memory. And there in the frozen quiet, A small, lonely world keeps turning, Pluto, the most beloved of the distant worlds. Once celebrated as the ninth planet, Pluto now wears a humbler title, dwarf planet. But to many it remains the Sun's youngest child, small, remote, and quietly beautiful. From this distance, the Sun looks no brighter than a nearby star, its light so faint it paints only a soft golden blush on Pluto's icy skin. The temperature here hovers near 230 degrees, so cold that even air itself freezes. A single year on Pluto lasts 248 Earth years, and one day stretches longer than 6 of our days and nights. Here, night never truly ends. It simply melts into long, dusky hours where dawn seems forever about to break. In 2015, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft swept past Pluto for the first time, sending back the clearest portraits humanity had ever seen. Among them was an image that touched hearts across the world, a vast, icy plain shaped unmistakably like a heart. They named it Tombaugh Regio, in honor of Clyde Tombaugh, the man who discovered Pluto. Now imagine yourself hovering above that frozen heart. Beneath you stretches a landscape of nitrogen ice, spanning hundreds of kilometers, glistening faintly under the weak light of the faraway sun. The surface is smooth as glass, broken only by deep cracks and faint mist rising like sighs across the plain. It is cold and still and heartbreakingly beautiful, a dream adrift in space. You hear a whisper in the dark. Even here, 6 billion kilometers from the sun, where light barely reaches, Pluto has a heart. A heart made of frozen nitrogen, but filled with quiet grace, a symbol of tenderness in loneliness, of beauty in stillness. Orbiting Pluto are 5 small moons, the largest called Charon, half Pluto's size, its surface scarred and pale. But these 2 worlds do something remarkable. They are tidally locked, forever showing each other the same face. If you stood on Pluto, Charon would hang motionless in the sky, never rising, never setting. And from Charon's surface, Pluto too would stay fixed in place, as if the 2 were holding hands, turning together through the endless dark. It's a slow, gentle waltz, Pluto and Charon, partners in an eternal dance. There is no music, only the faint glow of the distant sun as their ballroom light. Each revolution takes days, weeks, years, a rhythm of companionship so steady that even silence feels warm. Beyond Pluto lies the Kuiper belt, a vast ring of icy debris stretching from 30 to over 50 astronomical units from the sun. It is the solar system's snowy halo, a sea of frozen stones and sleeping comets. Here drift the other dwarf worlds, Eris, Makemake, Haumea, each one a shard of the same ancient story, turning slowly in the cold. If you were to land on one of these tiny worlds, you would find darkness complete. The sun would be smaller than Earth's moon, its light so faint your shadow would barely exist. No wind, no sound, only frost, rock, and stillness eternal. Sometimes, in the far-off black, a comet begins its long journey inward, nudged by gravity toward the warmth of the sun. From your vantage point, it appears as a faint silver stream, a slow, soundless river of light crossing the heavens. There is no loneliness in this view, only peace, the peace of belonging to something infinite. The Kuiper belt glows faintly, like a necklace of ice encircling the solar system. Each frozen body, no matter how small, catches a fragment of sunlight and sends it back into the dark, a dim, shimmering halo marking the boundary of home. Not brilliant, not loud, just the quiet light of frozen souls drifting in slow orbits. Farther still, the belt fades, and Pluto becomes a pin of silver behind you. Ahead, there are no more planets, no more rings, only vastness. The temperature drops toward absolute zero, and motion itself seems to slow. Here begins the Oort cloud, a great sphere of frozen comets, stretching 1 to 2 light-years from the sun. Billions of icy fragments sleep here, waiting for some distant stirring to send them inward once again. From this place, the sun's warmth is gone. Its wind no longer reaches you. Before you lies the true threshold, the frontier between us and the universe beyond. You take a deep, imaginary breath, not because you need to, but to feel the enormity of silence. Ahead of you, the stars stretch endlessly, each one another sun, each with its own worlds, its own stories. We have come to the end of sunlight. Here, where the Kuiper belt dissolves into night, the universe opens its door. Before you lies the interstellar sea, infinite, waiting, whispering. Let yourself drift. There is nowhere else to go because right here, where the light fades, the cosmos begins to sing. As Pluto and the Kuiper belt fade behind you, you realize the sun has become just another star, a small, pale spark among billions. Out here, its light no longer warms or guides. It simply glimmers faintly, a farewell ember in the dark. Your imagined ship drifts forward, crossing the boundary where sunlight ends, where the solar wind grows still and a new sea of space begins. This is the edge of interstellar space, the frontier where the sun's influence fades and the winds of distant stars begin to whisper. This vast boundary is called the heliosphere, a giant bubble of charged particles blown outward by the solar wind, cradling our entire solar system in an invisible cocoon of light. When you pass through its outer edge, you leave the sun's domain and enter the eternal night beyond. In truth, one small messenger from Earth has already made that journey. Launched in 1977, NASA's Voyager 1, a spacecraft barely the size of a small car, set out to explore the outer planets and carry a piece of humanity into the stars. After traveling more than 18 billion kilometers, crossing 122 astronomical units from the Sun, Voyager 1 finally entered interstellar space in 2012. Voyager 1, the tiny traveler of humankind, is still flying, silently crossing the endless dark, where the solar wind no longer blows, and only the winds of distant stars remain. Attached to its side is a golden record, a golden disc etched with the sounds of Earth, the crash of ocean waves, the whisper of wind through trees, the laughter of children, greetings in 55 languages, and pieces of ancient music. Imagine it now, drifting between the stars, carrying Earth's voice across eternity. A lullaby from home, singing softly to anyone who might someday listen, even millions of years from now. Here, space seems empty, yet it is not truly void. A few atoms drift in every cubic centimeter, so few that, compared to Earth's air, it is almost nothing. Sound cannot travel here. There is no air to carry it. If you were floating beside Voyager, you would be enveloped by absolute silence. A silence so pure, it feels like time itself has paused to listen. Here there is no day, no night, no up, no down, only the infinite dark, sprinkled with tiny points of light. The stars, unimaginably far away. You look around. Every direction is the same. No horizon, no motion, though the ship speeds onward at over 60,000 kilometers per hour. All of it feels still, like drifting through the deepest sleep. The nearest star to the Sun is Proxima Centauri, 424 light-years away, about 40 trillion kilometers. You breathe softly as the scale sinks in. If the Sun were a lamp, its nearest neighbor would be so distant that even light, the fastest thing in existence, would take 4 years to reach it. racing 300,000 kilometers every second without ever slowing. In that single thought, the universe opens inside you, immense, timeless, boundless, and suddenly, all human worries feel as small as dust. Before you, the stars glitter like silver dust on a sheet of velvet black. Each one is another sun, perhaps with its own worlds, its own skies and oceans, its own watchers looking up, wondering, as we do, if someone out there is looking back. The Oort cloud is a vast halo of icy fog, stretching as far as 50,000 AU, nearly a full light year from the sun. It is the birthplace of comets. Sometimes a shard of ice breaks loose, falling inward, and as it nears the sun, it ignites, trailing a bright tail across Earth's night sky. But most of the time, the Oort cloud sleeps, unchanged for billions of years, the solar system's quiet mist of dreams. Imagine drifting through that fog, surrounded by frozen dust, each grain catching a faint echo of starlight. There is no sound, only slow, glowing motion, so slow you cannot tell whether you're moving at all. And then, in the silence, you turn to look back, toward home. There it is, a single pale blue dot glimmering against the void. That image, captured by Voyager 1 in 1990, became one of the most humbling portraits ever taken. Everything we've ever loved, every smile, every tear, every prayer, every chapter of human history exists within that tiny point of light. A gentle loneliness fills you, but it isn't sad. Because even here at the edge of everything, Earth still shines. A fragile home in an infinite sea. There is wind there, and oceans and the warmth of others. And as you look upon that small glow, you understand. You are not lost in the universe. You belong to it, and it belongs to you. Interstellar space is the purest solitude and the deepest peace. Here, all noise is gone, leaving only life and light, small yet indestructible. We are among the stars now, in the stillest place in all creation. There are no boundaries, no sun, no time, only light drifting softly, and your breath mingling with the breath of the cosmos. A pause, a silence wide as eternity. Then one last whisper. Now, lift your eyes farther still. Gather the trillion stars before you, for ahead lies the Milky Way, our galactic home. There, every star tells a story, and the universe unfolds like a dream without end, leaving behind the quiet interstellar sea, where Voyager still sails, carrying Earth's golden song. You lift your gaze farther outward. The endless darkness ahead begins to shimmer. Millions, billions of stars gather together, weaving a soft silver band that curves gracefully like spilled milk across the night. That is the Milky Way, our galactic home. From here, you no longer see single stars, but an ocean of light stretching beyond imagination. If you could float outside the galaxy and look back, you would see a vast spiral disk of pale light drifting through the cosmic night, its arms curling elegantly around a glowing center. Astronomers say the Milky Way holds between 100 and 400 billion stars, spanning 100,000 light-years from edge to edge, a number so large it feels like a dream. If light itself were a car that never stopped, it would still take 100,000 years to drive across our galaxy. The thought makes you pause, take a slow breath, and smile, realizing you are adrift in something vast yet peaceful, where time no longer weighs you down but flows softly like a luminous river. The name Milky Way comes from an ancient vision, a glowing stream across the sky. The Greeks imagined it as milk spilled from the breast of the goddess Hera. In the East, it became the Silver River, the bridge where the weaver girl and the cowherd meet once each year. And even now, in the 21st century, that same light still hums above us. Tender, endless, a quiet ribbon of eternity. Amid its hundreds of billions of stars, our sun is just a single golden grain nestled along the inner edge of a spiral arm called Orion's Arm, about 25,000 light-years from the center. Not in the middle, not on the edge, but in a calm, quiet suburb of the galaxy. We are not at the center of the universe, only in a small, humble corner, and perhaps that's why life could bloom here, safe and still. Even the sun does not rest. It drifts slowly around the galactic heart, completing one orbit every 250 million years, a single galactic year. From the birth and extinction of the dinosaurs to this very moment, the sun has barely completed a quarter of its path. In the timescale of galaxies, time moves differently, not ticking but flowing, drop by drop, through millions of years. And in that eternity, the life of a human being, your life, feels fragile, yet infinitely precious. Now imagine lying on a grassy field beneath a clear, moonless sky. Above you, the Milky Way spills across the heavens, a misty ribbon of white light stretching from horizon to horizon. If you've seen it before, you remember the silence it brings, the deep calm, the strange sense of floating among the stars. And if you haven't, just picture it in your mind. A soft, silver silk draped across the dark, so gentle that every worry seems to dissolve. Even in the deepest night, the universe keeps a lantern lit for those who wander. At the center of our galaxy, hidden behind clouds of cosmic dust, lies a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius Eum. It weighs more than 4 million suns. Despite its name, it is not a monster, but the silent conductor that holds the galaxy in harmony. At the heart of the Milky Way lies a still heart. It does not beat, it does not shine, yet it keeps every star turning in perfect rhythm. A wondrous thought. The black hole is not a destroyer, but a quiet center. The unseen pulse that lets the galaxy dance in balance for billions of years. Beyond the heart, the Milky Way has neighbors. 2 small, glowing companions, the Magellanic Clouds, and one great sibling, Andromeda, just 2.5 million light-years away. One distant day, about 4 billion years from now, Andromeda and the Milky Way will merge, their stars swirling together like paint in slow motion. But there's no need to worry. Everything in the cosmos happens slowly, gracefully, so slowly that even after 1 million years of sleep, you would wake to find the stars hardly moved. The universe never hurries. It hums in patience and peace, like a lullaby made of light. The universe isn't as cold as we imagine. Among this sea of stars, our Milky Way glows like a silver blossom blooming in the cosmic night. And within that blossom, the sun, just one golden speck, is nurturing a small, living world, Earth. From here, your vision widens again. Beyond the Milky Way, hundreds of billions of other galaxies begin to appear, each its own island of stars, each with billions of suns, and perhaps billions of stories untold. Our Milky Way is only one drop of light in the ocean of the universe, but every drop holds its own wonders. Step back once more, see it all together, the universe as it truly is. Vast beyond imagining, yet balanced, gentle, and unspeakably beautiful. The music fades into a faint shimmer, like starlight dissolving into air. When you look up at the night sky and see the Milky Way, remember, you are looking at your home. Every star out there is a distant neighbor, and among them, Earth is just a tiny blue grain. Yet it is the only one we call home. From the outer edge of the Milky Way, you drift a little farther back. The river of stars behind you grows thinner, then dissolves into the black ocean of space. Each time you move beyond a layer of the cosmos, it seems to shrink. Yet the world expands 1,000-fold. Now before you, there is not just the Milky Way, but the entire universe, where trillions of galaxies spin silently in the infinite night. Imagine yourself standing in a place with no direction, no up, no down, only light. Light from countless stars, scattered like silver dust across a vast, dark sea. Scientists estimate the observable universe holds about 2 trillion galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. Altogether, that's roughly 10 to 24 stars. A billion suns. A number beyond imagination. There may be more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all the beaches of Earth combined. You pause, close your eyes, and picture the fine grains of sand beneath your feet. Then multiply them thousands, millions, billions of times. And still, they are not enough to count the stars that shine beyond. In that moment, your mind becomes still. You stop trying to understand. You simply feel it. The smallness and the peace of drifting in an endless sea. The universe is not still. It is gently expanding. Slowly, gracefully. Imagine it as a vast sheet of elastic fabric stretching outward in every direction, with galaxies as tiny dots upon it, each one moving farther from the others. But if you were sitting on one of those galaxies, as we are on the Milky Way, you would feel no motion at all. Everything around you would seem perfectly still. Space would feel asleep. Now imagine floating in the space between galaxies, the intergalactic void where there are no stars, no planets, no nearby light. Far away, faint glows mark the distant spirals of other galaxies. Islands scattered in a black ocean. There is no air, no sound. You hear only your own heartbeat. Everything moves slowly, softly, like a snowflake falling through an endless winter night. The universe expands, but it never rushes. Everything happens slowly, in balance, in peace. And perhaps, within that stillness, you'll realize silence might be the most beautiful music of all. Then, a warmer tone, a flicker of light in the dark. Did you know? Every atom in your body, the carbon, the oxygen, the iron, the calcium, was born inside stars that exploded billions of years ago? A quiet pause to let the truth settle. When those giant stars reached their end, they burst open, scattering stardust across the cosmos. Over millions of years, that dust gathered again, forming planets, oceans, forests, and you. As Carl Sagan once said, "We are made of star stuff." The words linger like a lullaby of the universe, holy and warm. It means that within each of us, a part of the stars still lives. When you look up at the night sky, you are not just looking outward, you are looking inward. You are the universe, and the universe is within you. You feel it. A strange, quiet belonging. No longer separate, no longer alone. Everything, every atom, every star, every breath is connected. And in that connection, all boundaries fade away, leaving only peace. And now, after this long journey through space and time, let us return home, back to our gentle blue world, Earth. A pause. The music softens, warming into the sounds of life, the wind, the rustle of leaves, the hush of waves against the shore. You are lying in your own bed, on the blue planet that drifts quietly through the cosmos. Outside there is darkness, inside there is warmth, the cradle of Earth holding you close. Everything out there is still moving, quietly, peacefully. You don't have to do anything, just breathe. The narrator falls silent for a heartbeat, letting you notice your own breathing. Steady, gentle, like the rhythm of Earth turning around the sun. Listen, that is your heartbeat, and it's also the heartbeat of the universe. Everything is one. A faint breeze seems to move through the window of your mind. Outside, the sky might be filled with stars or lit by a single quiet moon. But you know that all of it, the stars, the planets, the moon, the night wind, is watching over your sleep. You are small, and yet you are vast, because within you lies the whole universe. Now close your eyes and rest. Let your mind drift among the stars. Let every thought fade like morning mist. The universe will cradle you in its own soft breath. The music fades into silence. Only the slow rhythm of your heartbeat remains, and the whisper of breath as gentle as starlight. Sleep well within the endless tenderness of the universe. And slowly, the whisper disappears. All the images, the Milky Way, the planets, the distant sun, blur and fade like the end of a dream. You drift into deep sleep, where numbers turn to stars, knowledge becomes light, and the universe wraps around you. A warm, infinite embrace, as the light of the stars begins to fade, and the universe grows so silent you can almost hear your own breath. You realize, perhaps there's no need to travel any farther. To understand the cosmos, we don't always have to cross billions of light years. Sometimes all we need is to turn inward, because the universe doesn't just stretch between galaxies and stars. It also lives quietly within us. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly, then exhale gently. Feel the cool air move through your nose, touch your lungs, and dissolve into space. Each breath is a journey, from the sky beyond, through space, down into the vastness inside you. When we look outward, we see stars shining, but when we look inward, we find countless points of light as well. Tiny bursts of bioelectric energy flashing within every cell, every neuron. Scientists say the human body holds about 37 trillion cells, and within each of them, billions of molecules move and dance, like miniature planets in their own solar systems. In a way, your body is a universe, a vast, intricate world where everything moves in harmony, beautiful and precise beyond belief. Imagine your heart as a small sun, radiating warmth and rhythm, holding the orbit of every cell around it. Trillions of tiny worlds, communicating, living, dying, just like the stars within your own Milky Way. Every heartbeat you hear, every breath you take, is an echo of the universe inside you. When you inhale, you're taking in oxygen atoms forged in a star's explosion billions of years ago. When you exhale, you return a piece of yourself to the cosmos. Carbon, warmth, energy. The universe breathes in, and you breathe out. The universe breathes out, and you breathe in. Two rhythms, one heartbeat. Whenever you feel alone, remember, you are made of starlight. You are not lost, for within you, entire galaxies are moving. You are not small, for the same matter that builds planets and oceans also burns quietly in your blood. The words drift softly into the music, as distant piano notes pulse like the heartbeat of the cosmos, keeping time with your own. If we could magnify a single cell, we'd see a world as complex as any star system. Energy centers like tiny suns, pathways flowing like rivers, networks pulsing like thoughts. All of it works together, silently, perfectly, without commands, without noise. Just as the planets circle the sun, steady, silent, eternal. The universe is not something outside us. It is what we are. We are not strangers looking in from afar. We are the universe, seeing itself, feeling itself, smiling through human eyes. And in that realization, boundaries dissolve. There is no inside or outside, no large or small, no me or the cosmos. There is only energy, changing form, but never disappearing. Feel it. The pulse in your chest. That's the echo of the first explosion. The Big Bang still resonating through you. The warmth on your skin. That's ancient light, traveling billions of years to rest here, as you. A slow breath. A long, weightless silence. Even the music fades, leaving only the sound of your heartbeat and your breath. Steady, soft, infinite. Within you lies an endless sky, as deep and still as the one outside. Your thoughts are constellations, sometimes bright, sometimes dim. Your emotions are stars, flaring, fading, glowing again. Your memories orbit gently, holding the people and moments you've ever loved. Your body isn't separate pieces, it's a living symphony. Each cell, each atom, each electron vibrates in its own frequency, together creating the quiet song of being. And right now, in your stillness, you've tuned back into that cosmic rhythm, the music that's been playing since the dawn of time. Let that calm flow through you, like a golden current from the center of the universe to every corner of your being. Let it fill your breath, your heartbeat, your dreams. Let your body grow light, floating, boundless, free. A deep breath, a long pause, then softly, like a secret. The universe is vast, but the most miraculous thing is realizing it was never far away. The universe isn't out there. It's here. In every cell, every thought, every moment of rest that awaits you. And as you close your eyes, you understand. You no longer have to look up to find the universe, because the universe is already within you. Now, as you listen to your own breathing, the rhythm of the universe itself, everything begins to slow. Your breath drifts like wind. Your heartbeat rolls steady like waves from a distant shore. You realize the universe isn't just within you. You are dissolving into it, a single note in an endless symphony. And now, as the universe within you grows still, let your mind and body rest. Even the stars need to sleep. A long exhale fades into the air. The music deepens, low, distant tones, as if echoing from the heart of the cosmos. We have traveled far together, from the whispering tides of the ocean, through Earth, the sky, the planets, across the Milky Way, to the edge of the universe, and back inside ourselves. Now that all is quiet, there is only one thing left to do: rest. The universe knows how to rest. After the flash of supernovas, after the brilliance of 1,000 suns, comes long, patient stillness, a silence that waits and heals. Imagine the distant stars folding their bright shells around themselves, drifting softly through space, their light still traveling to us. Light that is, in truth, their dream, sent across millions of years. You are lying within that same darkness, not a fearful dark, but a warm blanket woven by the universe itself. Each star in the sky is whispering a quiet goodnight to you. The music has slowed now, deep and steady, moving with your breath. Tonight, you do not sleep alone. You sleep with billions of stars, with Earth turning gently beneath you, with the moon drifting softly outside your window, with the Milky Way itself rocking in the arms of the dark. When you close your eyes, the universe closes its own. When you let go, the galaxies let go too, spinning softly in their great slow dance. Nothing is hurried. Nothing needs to be held. You don't need to think anymore. You don't need to remember. Everything you've heard, everything you've felt will stay with you, glowing quietly in your heart, the way starlight lingers in the night. A pause. Only the faintest sound of wind remains, music drifting away into silence. And as you sleep, your heart keeps beating, slow, steady, in time with the turning of the earth around the sun. Each beat is a small echo of the universe, reminding you that you are still part of its rhythm. Outside your window, even unseen, the earth still spins. The Milky Way still turns. Light still travels on. And you, a tiny grain of stardust, rest within that rhythm, held and cradled by perfect stillness. Let your body drift, like a small planet floating in space, weightless, peaceful, free. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just be here and sleep. The music is now only a whisper, a shimmer of sound, like breath dissolving into night. Sleep deeply and dream beautifully. If dreams come, let them carry you. Through fields of stars, across silver moons, through oceans of gentle cloud, let them come and go, like waves, like breath. Each sentence fades softer than the one before. You are small, and yet infinite. You were born of starlight, and within you, the universe itself is sleeping and dreaming. A moment of silence. And when you wake, remember, you are a part of this universe, and it will still be here. Quiet, kind, waiting for your smile. The voice dissolves, blending into the faint hum of distant stars. Only the soft echo of the cosmos remains, a vibration too gentle to hear, but perfectly felt. The listener's inner sky fades to black, a velvet night sprinkled with slow, drifting lights. They dim, one by one, until only a single heartbeat of light remains. It flickers once and fades. Everything sinks into perfect stillness. Coda, the final lullaby, barely a whisper. Sleep now, in the quiet heart of the universe. The stars are dreaming, and you are one of them.